At MP Coney Island, it's all about the chili and has been for nearly 100 years since we opened in 1923. We help put Newcastle on the map as the hot dog capital of the world. Visit our store, place an order for pickup at mpconeyisland.com, delivery with DoorDash, or find the grocery store near you with our chili locator on our website. Want to own your own MP Coney Island? Now you can with our franchise system. At MP Coney Island, it's all about the chili.
Welcome to number 23 to Glorious Tradition, and we are back at the studio.
Beautiful downtown Newcastle.
Beautiful downtown.
Beautiful.
Newcastle. No, we're not being sarcastic.
No.
It looks good.
It's our home.
It does.
That's our home.
It looks good. I mean, everything's good. Got Perry just coming back from
Nashville,
Tennessee.
baby.
Crazy there.
Wow. Wow.
Rick Yummy Gay's here, and Chip Podolesi, my anchor guy. It's good to be back, Ronnie. Thank you very much, our producer, Ronnie Mounts. And tonight we will be on Facebook and YouTube, correct? So if you guys want to get on YouTube and watch us, we'll be on there. I had you down here, you had some information to tell us, but that's the information I just told it. And he's going to do something down the road, and we'll be talking about it later. We were at Vente Se last Thursday, a week goes fast.
1 week, yep.
And we had the East Side reunion. A lot of extra Hurricanes were there, and it was so good. I loved that interview with Larry Izzo and Rick Rossano. That was great to have them there tonight. We had a really good night with that. It wasn't Larry Izzo's. That was like me and you talked about that last Friday.
Quite a story.
Oh, what a story!
I never knew
it either.
Never knew anything like that happened.
Right.
So I mean, you know more of the background. So
Well, it basically, and you can chime in if I'm wrong. He was a pro. He worked at the pro shop at Disney.
never picked up a golf club
ever
in his life. I asked him that before.
Was you listen? You were there.
Never golfed before.
Absolutely, I couldn't believe
It was just unbelievable the ladder he climbed to get to the top. When he said to us that he spent time, like he'd go find a golf course where there was lights, and he'd
Chipping and putting.
Chip putt,
3 hours in the dark.
3 hours in the dark.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
so dedicated.
So, what's that tell you?
Quite a story.
It was a red hurricane.
That's right. That's all I got.
I mean-
I took the words right out of my mouth.
Right. He was a red hurricane.
Resilient, tenacious,
Unbelievable.
and guess we had the '73 reunion. Guess who trotted onto the field? Larry Izzo.
Larry Izzo.
They called him out. He trotted on the field.
Unbelievable.
He was ready to go.
Well, listen.
It's amazing.
There's a little difference, and I don't want to like make it sound gloomy, but that was their motivation. They motivated themselves, and they were so fired up that night. And these guys are in their late 60s. They're 3 years younger. They're 67, 68 years old, and they self-motivated themselves. Even on the night they were honored. What a tribute to that team. You know that all those people were there. It was unreal how many people showed up.
Joe Allegro come in late, and he ran from the street
Wow.
to the back of the stadium. He ran through the gate. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that story that Coach Plano told him about decking Archie Griffin and him getting on the, elevated the second team and him playing time. I mean, and them guys smiled so much. Lance McKellen, I just got off the phone with him. What a
Great guy.
Oh, great gentleman.
I bet you know what, I'll tell you.
Great gentleman.
I haven't seen him. He's I think a lot older than you.
Oh, yeah.
10.
Naturally, he's younger.
10 years.
He's just a few years younger than me, but I told those guys, I said, what's funny? Oh, God, I was young. I was 15 or 16 and they were 13 and I was coaching. I had no choice though. My dad needed help, So I went, then he was still young and I went up and I helped those guys. I actually was on the field 2 years later. I was playing Pop Warner. Of course, I only played in 6th and 7th grade, but I was helping coach those guys what we knew. Isn't that something? What we knew and what we learned as kids, we just Just teach them what you learn. That's what my dad used to say. Just teach them what you know.
It was amazing when I walked in
Yeah.
and I saw, here we go. You got the Sapienza brothers.
Yep.
You know,
Chuck and Chris.
yeah, they were sitting right there. Then you got Willie Fleeta. Then you got Mark Felina. Then you got Paul Felina. You know what I mean?
Just
Dick
thinking,
Troja.
well-
I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on.
And then you have the
Ricky
first
Summer.
quarterback we ever had was Alan Joseph.
Yeah, Alan.
And the first left halfback we had was Rich Christopher. So they were there reminiscent. So it was like a night filled with just memories. It's just like
And what I
unreal.
noticed, Sam, too, is people were coming in and seeing each other for the first time. Emotions.
Emotions.
Where they haven't seen these guys in years.
Michael Hannon was, I was reading that and I'm getting the chills now as I'm speaking. Michael Hannon was sitting in front of me. Like I'm sitting here and he's sitting right there and I'm looking at him. And he has tears rolling down his face and I'm going, how am I going to do this? So I wasn't being ignorant to him. And Mike, if you're watching tonight, I didn't do that purposely not to look at you, but his emotions, like you said, Chip, were so high. I think everybody's were because there was, like Chip said, a lot of guys that we haven't seen for so long. Like I haven't seen Dennis Trojo and Gene Trojo for years. But then again, I seen Dennis this past summer, and he was walking by on the Gibson Street. He was walking by the side street, and I looked. Now a face was just older. Just said, "Wow, God, this is Dennis Trojo." That he was part of that Pop Warner East Side Rams football back in the day.
Back in the day. Well, credit to you and Connie, too, for getting that all together.
Well, you know what? Now,
a lot of work
listen,
you guys
wait a
did.
minute. Now, wait a minute. This guy
You guys did a
here
lot.
sitting to my right, he's not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. I asked him, what do you think about an East Side reunion? So he lit the fire to me, Chip.
Yeah, it was a great
No, really.
idea.
It was a
Great
summer.
idea.
It was early summer.
Summertime. It's,
Early July.
oh, yeah.
Maybe
Before
earlier.
camp.
How many guys would you say that was there that night? At least 50,
I say
60 guys?
80, 85.
That
Oh,
was
it
a real
is.
turn.
Parking lot was packed.
I had 85 T-shirts, 84 T-shirts. And thank you, Arnie Sabrini. The T-shirts
Brett did a
Chip
good
has
job.
on now that we sold at the thing, and the perfection of the shirt was great. My brother Ricky, he sent me a design from another something like that, and then we just stuck some stuff in there, and he did a little retro with that.
But everything was
Brett
good. The
on our
venue
name.
was a perfect place to have
It was
that.
great.
It was good setting.
It was a good
Everything
setting.
just worked out. It was a good time. Everybody was here for
Yeah.
the next night. And then the next night, Randy and Bobby did a good job setting that
Oh,
up.
that
too.
was
You know,
absolutely.
they did a good
Absolutely.
job. That all worked out and timed out just right.
I told Randy that night you did an excellent job. You guys did an excellent job with that. It was
Yep.
super nice and
Even the Montour coaches, Lou Serra, made a comment that was a fantastic thing that they
Yep.
did, and what a good idea.
just think about it, Perry. 50 years. 50 years. When I had that 67 thing a couple years, 3 years ago, or a little 5 years ago, whatever it was, amazing. Just think about 50 years ago that these guys played at Newcastle High School
That's like,
on a championship team.
right. And Chris Brooks and I sat together, and he said to me, I don't want to miss this. He goes, I want to go. He goes, I want to honor these guys because those are the guys.
Yeah.
As we talk through these shows, that's who we looked up to.
Yep.
That was we were 7 years old
Yep.
when they won that championship,
Right.
and I remember the parade and all that. I mean, it was amazing.
I don't know where I was at. This was a couple weeks ago. I think I was in Rite Aid or up CVS. Somebody walks up to me and they go, I remember when you played at, older guy, I remember when you guys played at Pitt Stadium in the 1966-7 championship game. I was there. And I looked at him, I go, do you still go to the football games? And then I looked at him again, and I seen him Friday night coming into the game.
See that?
I seen him, and I couldn't get it. He was walking on the other side, and I wanted to get up to him and shake his hand. I shook his hand at, I think it was Rite Aid. And just unbelievable how,
Faithful season
Faithful.
ticket holders.
I
Yes.
talked to Mike Rapone through Messenger yesterday, and I've been wanting these guys, Michael, and that game.
Yes.
I want to get them on because
I talked to Michael, too.
their
crew.
Yeah, that era. We got to start getting guys here in
Chris
that
Happy.
80.
Chris
in that
Happy.
80.
That's we
Frank
talk about-
Antuano.
Yep, the transitioning
Yes.
through the whole series of shows we've had, and we're working on it, and
Yeah.
we're building it, and
And I
it looks
told Mike,
beautiful.
we didn't really get to that yet because it's just been trying to get guys. We had Nikki Hammond here.
Yeah,
We had Nikki here. I like
Bobby
the
Parada,
Bobby Parada. We had those
Lynn
guys. here.
Hellstock.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some.
We can really
Yeah.
build into it, and then we can see as the rise, then the starting of the fall of it. Then Lindy left, then Nikki came, then Schooley was here, and then it fluctuated a little bit, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Then the town lost the industry. We
The
started.
times changed.
The times have changed. So, it's still our town, it's still our school, and it's still the red and black. And we're going to support it to the
Amen.
day we die.
Amen.
And it's just the way it is. It's just, unfortunately, right now, it's just we're in a quagmire right now.
It's like you said, we talked about before, Chip gave you that little ignition.
Yes,
We just need that little ignition.
we got to
The
win.
gas is there. It just needs a little
I talked
spark.
to Stacy. I usually talk to him on Mondays. So I talked to him a little bit Monday, and I said, Stacy, we need to get the next 4 games. We got to win 3.
We have some winnable games.
Let's win 3
that's
winnable
right.
games, like Chip just said.
Yeah, winnable
Let's get
games.
3 wins. And
Go out
let's
on a ride.
go out on a rise.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's this is 2 years of losing now. We're there and we're not going to never leave but it's online and people are talking. I think Larry Kelly mentioned this the other night on his Gridiron show, which was great. People are going to start bashing you. We have a very young team. We do. Don't make any excuses for what they have and don't have. They're a young team.
Right.
Coaches are doing all they can.
Sure.
This isn't going to last. It's going to come around, but keep in mind that conference we play in is top notch.
To me, great.
You've got 2 teams that are tops in the state, but it's going to come back. This is not going to keep going down. These kids are going to come along. They're going to get better. I know they are.
No.
That always happens.
Now, Chip, am I right in saying this? Down at Central Valley, we were given battle. I
We were in
thought.
the game.
Yeah, couple mistakes, couple turnovers, couple penalties messed us up.
Yeah.
Well, it was 21-7. We scored, so we gave the ball back to them. They gave it back to us, then we gave it back to them, and they
Yes.
scored. It was
And they took off
28-7. 28-7 at half.
Stacy said this almost since day one, since the beginning of the year. Spurts. They're
Yep.
playing spurts, and then things fall apart, and then once all of a sudden you're down 4 scores.
We all know you can't play in
You
sports.
can't play in spurts.
And we said that. We know that. It was instilled in us back in the day when you played and I played. We know you have to play 48 minutes.
And
There's no letting up. You got to play the whole
and
game.
what got you to that point?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
28 power, 28 power. Again, repetition, consistency. That's how you get there. That's how you get there.
It's all the old saying is practice makes perfect.
Yes.
So, it's just it's going to, like Chip said, it's going to get better.
Definitely going to get better.
We gotta get
We
better.
have
It
too
has to
many
get
good
better.
athletes for it not to get better.
Yeah.
And the pipeline is there. There's some young kids that are coming up in the 7th, 8th grade programs. I mean, they're
Our 7th and
decent.
8th grade team's 4-0.
There you go.
They're 4-0.
There you go.
And they play Central Valley tonight at Central Valley. So,
And they've got some talent.
and they got
Reno Graham's a nice young athlete.
I mean,
7th
See?
grader. He's a 7th grader. Yeah.
We have to keep on supporting the young men,
Yes.
and we have to give them, the backing, because it's going to get there. Like you said,
people
Jim,
forget.
It's going to get
We're
there.
talking about young kids, 17, 16. A lot of our kids are 15 and 16 years old. And the coaches aren't professional coaches. They're not. But they are doing a good job. They're there. I see it. I see everything that they're doing. They're there. They're helping these kids. They're trying their best, but we just got to put it all together. And I'm sure it'll happen.
Right.
It will.
We were talking about, earlier, just a couple minutes ago about, I do see that. See, I didn't follow through, but they're teams to watch. Central Valley that's how good that 4A is.
So, and
They're
that's in
a
the
team to
state,
watch.
right?
This
That will
is
put
the
us
state.
3 in the state.
They're
and
two, well, right
two.
as of the other day, they were 2.
They're 2. And
Thomas Jefferson
is 3.
Woo.
And then you have
Montour in there
McKeesport.
Montour's not in there.
No.
Big game this week. Montour at Central
Oh, it's Central Valley.
Valley. Big game this week.
Oh, that's good. But McKeesport's supposed to be really good.
What's CV? What's their rank?
They're
Teams
teams
to
to
watch.
watch.
Teams to watch.
They have 1 loss.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about high school sports now, so we might as well talk about this when you do your spiel.
All right, little in the high school. Let me get to my page here. WPIO week 6 already. It's hard to believe.
It's amazing.
In 6A, Central Catholic, they defeated North Allegheny. Boy, 2 top-notch teams. That was a great game. I watched some of it online. In 5A, Peters Township. In our 4A, Eloquippa won, Thomas Jefferson, McKeesport, and Central Valley. And like we just said, that big game this week, Central Valley and Montour. In 3A, Bell Vernon's been strong. In 4A, they're in 3A, and they're wiping teams off the field. The 2A has a lot of local flavor, Perry, right?
Yep.
We got the Shannock. Freddie's doing a fantastic job up
I
there.
ran into Freddie last night at the junior high.
I mean, they run the ball well. And this Aiken, I saw a highlight. He broke through the line, Perry. He took off. I mean, he got shot out of a cannon.
It's not the story. He's back up.
I know. He's a sophomore,
You
right?
want to talk about the next man
Sophomore.
up? Okay.
But
Freddie has got them
He got them playing hard. He got them playing hard, and
a machine.
Mohawk's playing good.
Oh,
they got
man.
some
That'll be
two-way
that's the
athletes.
Shannon's last game.
That's the last game. That's last
That's
week.
the Shannon's
I'm going to be
last
out of town, but I'll be somewhere watching that.
Where
on
you
the
going?
side.
Someplace
I'm
to go?
going down south for a wedding.
Oh, that's right. You did say.
I'm going down south for a wedding. I was
I'll go to
supposed to
Nashville.
be. I was supposed to be in South Bend, but I'm not going there either. In 1A, Fort Cherry just upset Bishop Canevin last week. That was another big game. So we're going to go down to Char Valley tomorrow. We're going to leave about 3:30. We're going to go down to Washington County.
Don't go on. I told Randy, do not travel 79 South past 279.
Right.
I was
All
at
tore up.
for Denny yesterday. Went down to the restaurant depot. By the time I got back out at 11:15, it was almost in Wexford. The traffic going southbound. So if you fans out there, I think about we're going to do a different route. I think.
Yeah. Try to find some other way around it.
Yeah.
Far is that, right? For sure.
That's in an hour, maybe.
Who's
The way Vince drives, maybe an hour and a half.
Who's the head coach of Chartreuse Valley now?
That I don't know.
I'm not sure. They got a new athletic director. The head football coach at Blackhawk last year, which was the AD, is now the athletic director only at Char Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach Hayward. Yeah, he's down there. Good kid, young kid. He played football and basketball at Blackhawk. Good guy.
Believe me, they'll be there to play.
You went all through all those classifications, but look at this 2A. Naturally, Southern Columbia. Farrell, Westinghouse. Sharon is the team to watch. And Sharpsville, Sharpsville team to watch. Those teams are all from around
All
here.
here.
And Still Valley's always the good team.
But Sam, how can Southern Columbia be one in the state
What's
year after year?
what's the deal with them?
I think we looked at some.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I think there was something with their VOTEC or something, the way they bring kids in, because we all know that it is impossible to be. I mean, they won. I have my notes. I don't know. 10 out of 13 years they won a state championship. You just can't do that with high school. You can't. It's impossible.
It's got to be that
I mean, so
reciprocal.
it's just the way that
constant.
happens out there, and
Yeah.
and then you get the kids when they're younger. Everybody wants to go into that one school district. So if you parents will move you in, and they move you in, they move you in. What are you going to do?
Think about it. We talked about this before. What if we did that here? We have a vocational technical school.
Did you see where the PIA, the technical school, you got to
Right.
take all those students, boys
Right.
and girls. But the PIA is talking about changing how they do the classifications. Did you read that?
No.
And somebody out there, quote me if I'm wrong, but I think what they want to do is, what it sounds like to me is, they want to eliminate the students that are in these vocational schools. So that would help your classification
Be more true.
more truer in classification, because at our VOTEC, with all the county schools, I don't know how many the other ones get, but we're lucky sometimes we get one kid to play football and maybe a couple
I
kids.
was going to say, back in the 60s and 70s, did a lot of kids go through both tech up play
Yeah,
football?
but there wasn't that many that played sports.
Not like
We
now.
didn't have as many sports as we have today. I think we had one girl last year. We always said it was Rachel's Jada's double. What was her name? I can't think of her name, but she went to VOTEC and she started playing more on the girls' varsity basketball team. But there's not many.
I think
There's some rule out there they're trying to change.
we all know the way that transfer rule was
Yeah.
put into place. I think in totality it's a good idea, but the way some of these teams get bumped up, it's not right. It's just not right.
Now, this is just an ex-athletic director talking. This is just my opinion. I think what they should do in these classifications, somewhere down the road, is that you compete on, let's say Newcastle, well, it's not even used Newcastle. Let's say you're crowned 4A. So move you to 3A for 2 years and see how you compete. If you're competing on a level, then you move back up to 4A again. Do it again every 2 years. If you're 2A and you say you want to go to 1A, put you in a 2-year thing, try it out, see if it works. If it don't work, you go back up to 2A.
I think teams look at that from travel purposes
Yes,
a lot of times,
it does.
right?
It does.
Because you don't want to be playing teams on the other side of Pittsburgh all the
Right.
time because of
Right.
travel.
Right.
And I understand that.
Right.
I mean, all Tri-County North was good here. The
Right.
teams were all local, and that sort of got broke up and put back together again. But
Right.
that goes into it too. But there has to be a better way because we all know what's going on out east.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not compared. You're going apple and oranges.
That's basically what I was.
You know,
the
when
point I was-
Berwick's going to play Aliquippa and they have near 100 kids on their roster, and Aliquippa comes in with 32. It's just not our equal playing
So
field.
that Southern Columbia is sitting on top of that mountain right now, waiting to see who the next victim is, right?
Yeah, because
And it's every year. You flick the television on PIA championship
they're there
days,
every year.
and they're there.
They're there every year.
Has it been the last 10 years they haven't been there? Pretty close to being
I
pretty
think
much
it's
in a row.
double. Yeah, either they've been there or won it. Come on.
Right.
Our basketball team, do they only have one more year in 6A, or are they going to move back down? You think?
Should be one more.
1 year. Then I think they reevaluate.
This is
that.
year 2 of the.
Year 2 of it.
So they'll redo that next year. But.
And it's pretty much you're stuck here for a while.
Yeah. And, to me, when I look at the 6A, and you're probably better off in hoops, but not football.
Right.
I think 4A, that's where we belong in football. Mohawk and Neshannock, I think they're 2A school. That's where they should.
Look at some of these teams. God knows what. You're St. Joseph Prep. That's a private school.
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Private school.
Parkland. Parkland's always up there in 6A. Central Bucks West. How about that?
That's huge.
And Central Bucks South. Look at that.
They're there every year.
It's Mayheim Township, Central York, Donington East, North Allegheny, Nazareth, and Donington West. It seems like it's just a carbon copy every year. Just
We
unreal.
really, I don't know enough about the other teams that are out there, but these super teams probably beat up these other teams all
Yep.
year.
Yep.
And then they make it there all.
Right.
Look, they got Downingtown East and Downingtown West too.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that.
See that same look, see?
Yeah. They're a team to watch.
Wow.
Well, you got anything with college?
Yes.
Pitt's on a bye week this week, so.
Thank God.
I think Pitt and Penn State's off. But
Boston College next Saturday.
they benched Jurkovich. He's on the bench now, and we're going to try the backup. But I mean, they've got issues beyond quarterback. They're just not. The run game's non-existent, and you hear rumblings about Narduzzi and whatever. But they've got to put it together. You're playing the ACC again.
Michigan State's looking at Narduzzi. That's a rumor.
Yeah, no, I don't think there'd be too many people mad if that happened. But it's just they're just not a good team right now. They're just not. That quarterback play is, very important.
Right.
And he's not playing well right now. I don't know what happened to him. He was excellent when he came out of high school, when he went to Boston College, but then it just hasn't panned out. But Georgia's won, Michigan 2, Texas, and Ohio State. What's your opinion, you guys' opinion on Georgia this year? I know they lost a lot of players.
Do you
But
watch a
it
lot
looks
of
like
college football?
As much as I can.
I don't.
Doesn't it look
do.
like they're-
And I'm ignorant for that, but I
Doesn't
don't.
Georgia really look like they're just
I
like going through the motions, and
Yeah.
maybe they're waiting to get to the championship? It just looks like they don't
we're
really
number
have-
one. We're
it's-
going to win by
yeah.
30.
They're really not though. They're struggling.
How strong is
They're
the
struggling in
conference?
some games.
How strong is the conference?
It's the SEC.
I mean,
It's the best.
You can't get any better.
It's the best.
That's a grind.
It's the SEC.
I mean, but
Do you think, Perry? Do you think that it's?
it seems like they're nonchalant. Yeah, it does. But that seems like it's the Southern way, nice and easy.
But do you think it's easy to turn back on again?
Oh yeah,
In the
I
mid-season?
guarantee it. I guarantee it. That's what they'll do. They'll make adjustments. They'll come out. They'll fire. You know, look what happened with, I don't want to switch gears, but I guess I'll have to. Colorado, right? You know, they come out, they were strong as ox, you know.
A lot of emotion.
Yeah, and then, you know, they go to Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon's a meat crowd. They tore them up, and then they gave USC a game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and
So-
it was supposed to be the same way.
Yeah.
But I guess Oregon's line is very excellent. I guess Texas, their front
Sure.
line is excellent too.
Yeah.
But they were able to push Colorado off the ball. And he keeps saying he doesn't have that line yet.
Yeah,
But they're going to come.
he'll get it.
They're going to come, and they're going to be good.
But, you know, back to Georgia, you know, well, who was back here? Was it Vince Dooley?
When they played Pitt.
Vince Dooley, did he coach Georgia?
Georgia, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
He just passed away.
Yeah, I mean, look at the programs he had there. You
It's
know,
a top-notch program. I mean, that's Georgia.
I mean, right. I mean, red,
But-
black, and white
Is this 14 playoff ever going to go up? You think that like 8 teams?
Yeah.
for money.
It's already set. I think it's either next year or year after.
It's all
one.
scuttle.
Yeah.
Oh, big
Oh,
money.
A
yeah.
lot of money.
Big money.
It's all money.
Coast games, the coast games.
And I
You
guess
play on the coast. I mean,
down the line-
West Coast, you make
Down the line, what they want to do is make this almost like AFC and NFC, and they want to have like the same
Yeah.
kind of playoff.
Yeah.
So there'll be 2 super conferences.
Do you think it's about time
Oh,
for
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Way overdue.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all saw in the 80s and 90s sometimes, team would go undefeated and then never play anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes BYU would
Play
get
it off,
there later,
right?
Have a
Right.
playoff.
Somebody gets a lucky run.
Yep.
I think the pros are doing it right. They added a game last year, right?
Fans want to see it.
Yeah.
Fans
I
want
love
to see
That's
it.
money.
Fans want more
More
games.
regular season and less preseason.
Right, yeah. They
I
want to
love-
see
you're
more.
right.
I love
Fans
the
want to
idea.
see it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who
Love
else wants to see it. The casinos and
Oh,
FanDuel,
yeah.
they want to see it too. I'm sure.
DraftKings.
I mean, that's going to draw a lot of it.
What's that?
One Gabriel.
Big games this week. The Red River rivalry. Say that fast. Texas and Oklahoma. I think it's on at noon. Georgia and Kentucky. Notre Dame, Coach Nattel's favorite team, going to Louisville, I believe, play number 25. So there's some good games this week, and that'll round us
Play
up
'em
at
all
CAA.
Play them off.
Yep.
Get to the best team. The best teams make it to the top.
Yep.
Instead of this other garbage you play. Nothing against those teams, but
No.
they don't play nobody all year. Then they play the whatever. You know.
Yeah.
That's just my
It gives the smaller schools a little
Yeah.
exposure.
Right.
They get some money, you know. Well, who went in Pitt? Who was a small school that went into Pitt? Was it Towson?
Yeah, first week.
Yeah, it was Towson.
Yeah.
Come on. I
Just-
mean, they're
It's-
they're
they-
FCS school, right?
It's the money.
It's the money, but
Right.
and then, college doesn't have
Yeah.
preseason, so they want to get a game under their feet,
Yeah.
sometimes 2, and that's why schedule YSU or,
Yeah.
Ohio State play YSU.
And there's nothing wrong with YSU.
Well, for
YSU gave Ohio State.
Wofford.
Yeah,
We got a resident Pitt fan right here.
Wofford.
Yummy game. What am I doing?
Also.
You should be telling us all that stuff. Yeah,
What
Wofford.
else do you know about Rick Young? What do you know? What else do you know about Pitt? Anything?
It's very disappointing so far. After
It is.
last
Are they
year.
a young football team, Pitt? Are they young?
See, I'm not familiar with a lot of the guys like I used to be, so I don't know too many
Right.
names like I used to.
Right.
But like my dad even said before, you had wide receivers like Fitzgerald, the one that went to Cincinnati.
Oh, that was
Boyd.
yeah.
Tyler Boyd.
You probably haven't had
Oh.
too many good receivers since those guys. You don't have a name.
I think
Absolutely.
recruiting wise, they've
Absolutely.
done a good job in Western Pennsylvania. I mean,
Sure.
competing with Penn State, we know that.
Yeah.
But they've done a good job getting some of the premier guys here.
Sure.
But some of those guys didn't pan out.
Right.
And it's the quarterback play, right? I mean,
Right.
you got to have that quarterback. You
And
gotta have the
like you
guys
said,
play
Chip,
well.
Narduzzi did a good job. He has done a good job.
It's the guy's got to play.
But there's one guy that I wish would have went there, and I don't think he wanted it. But I was touting his name before Narduzzi got it. Bear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
Would be awesome.
Could you imagine that if Bear would have went down?
The whole town of Newcastle.
Oh,
But Pitt always has to find a way to get a good running back. They've always been a good running back team.
I'm gonna. You said right, but you said Bear, and I don't want to lose my train of thought.
right.
I did have him on a text about a month ago. Before he goes back to Florida, we're going to get him
Oh,
down.
that'd be a great.
And I'll be calling you or texting you this week, Bear, if you're watching this show. Want to go to the NFL?
Let's go to the NFL. That's another fun thing.
Wow.
we keep saying it, from one week to the next, you can't read these teams what the hell they're doing.
No.
Who looks good? Miami looked like they were going to blow everybody's socks off, and they just laid an egg.
They laid
That's
an
right.
egg.
They laid an egg. Jeez.
That's great.
So we said the who's hot and who's not. Well, Cincinnati's not hot.
Injuries. Joe Burrow's not healthy.
He's not healthy. He's
And
playing hurt.
When your quarterback's that, he just can't. I think they have 5 plays over 20 yards. That's not their game.
Yeah.
You got T. Higgins and you got Jamar Chase. I mean,
You know-
they can't get downfield.
You know, we watched.
I know him. I got him on my fantasy.
Right.
That's
We watched
terrible.
I watched the Ravens. If we can't watch it, on regular, televised national television. We'll stream it. But is that a pain in the ass? I had my son Sammy had a Bellis out Sunday. They came over. He goes, Dad, you got to just keep flacking around. So he finally found us. We were watching.
It's
Then I watched the Steelers on my iPad. It was like the slow death.
they just can't get.
They can't
Can't get it in motion. You know?
Listen, I don't know. Are you a Steeler fan?
Yes, sir. Much good.
Dumpster is, Chip is, and people have to realize something that you try to tell the diehard Steeler fans that Terry Bradshaw was benched. If you look into the history of Terry Bradshaw, he was benched a few games, and then he came out and won.
Oh, I know.
He won 4 Super Bowls.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, and you know when you
Got to
listen
give
to
this kid a chance.
you listen to these
Give him a chance.
so-called experts on TV, they'll tell you,
Yeah.
you know, it takes time to learn an NFL game. You got to be able to see the whole field.
It's just
you
not
gotta-
a sync. Right?
You can't watch, certain receivers,
Right.
and you're thrown into a tight window, and these guys are just getting going here. But 2-3 years, you got to be into it. Pickett is just
It's
struggling
just
right
not.
now.
It's just not, something's wrong, and naturally they're going to blame the offensive coordinator, but again, you still got to play the game, and they're missing Hayward on defense. That's a big loss.
He's a leader.
But you got
He's a
T.J.
leader.
Watt and Highsmith, Sam.
You got Highsmith
They're
is
elite.
good.
Elite.
I thought they played. If I was giving them any grade, if it was a D- to me, and I'm only giving them not the F because
You don't give Fs.
you don't give Fs. If I was a teacher, I don't give Fs. I'd give you a D-.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to watch.
It was
and-
It
really
was
hard to
definitely
watch.
below average.
Yes.
It was not an average.
No.
It was definitely
The
below.
win before the win the week before last
Right.
wasn't bad.
Right.
I mean, it was just the Steeler football. They grounded out a little bit,
Yeah.
and they did what they had to do, and they won.
How can you?
Now you got
from
the Ravens
that
this week.
play. I mean, that switch. I mean, it's too up and down.
It's up and down.
It's too up.
But
and
they're
down.
not the only team doing that.
No.
It's a lot of them, except for even Kansas City's struggling right now on offense.
Cleveland struck. Of
And
course, they didn't have
injuries
a
playing-
quarterback either. They didn't have their quarterback.
Now what about this? I mean, this guy's making a lot of money, and he basically took himself out of the game, Watson.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I just can't
Listen.
down on him.
Listen, I'm
That's
not
what
trying to
they're
be
telling you.
critical of the
Right,
guy.
right.
It has to be. I'm probably saying this. You all know that. It got to be in your contract. There has to be some clause in your contract to say, if I'm not worthy of playing, I'm not going to play and still get paid all that cash. No,
Oh,
They're all in on him.
guarantee, I
They're all
guarantee
in
it's-
on him. If he don't pan out, they're done. They gave
The
away
money-
draft, and they gave away money.
The money they
That's
invested
it.
in him.
That's it. I know there are a lot of Browns fans out there.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like the Browns, but some of the moves they make, you think, oh, what are they doing here?
Is it Ozzie Newsome still the GM,
I don't think he's.
or did they get
I
rid of
don't think
Ozzie?
so. No, I think he retired.
yeah. Look up and see who the general manager on your phone is.
Yeah, it's a younger guy.
Cleveland
Okay.
Browns.
It's a younger guy they have there.
Okay.
We could give-
Great coach. They have a
Oh, he's a good coach.
he's a good coach.
Right.
But just
The Ravens
again,
just
quarterback.
pride on their weakness.
Yeah.
So
That's all they did.
He was a rookie quarterback. He was completely mesmerized by it. And then Raiders got a good defense. I mean, Ravens got a good defense. They got a really good.
And they're all banged up. We talked
They're
about that
banged up
last
too.
week.
This
Their
NFL 's
injuries,
nuts.
they're starting to come back though.
Yeah.
I think they have
Humphrey
4 guys back.
practiced.
I don't know if Beckham might be back.
This Marcus Williams, the place Gino took his place. He had full practice the last couple of days. So it's what is it?
Andrew Berry is the general
Berry,
manager.
that's it.
Andrew Berry for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
That's just some of these teams can't get out of their way.
Arizona the week before last, they looked like they were gonna.
Beat Dallas.
Yeah. And then San Francisco blows them out.
How does Dallas lose the way they were?
I had them on Bobby.
The Jets defense that first couple weeks, they went from 4. I just saw this today. 4. They're like 20 some now. playing from behind a lot.
Kansas City made a ton of mistakes. Even Mahomes made it.
Everything runs through Kelsey, and he's not on Elway.
And you think, these guys are pros. They're automatic. You know what I mean? But everybody has a bad day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that
Everybody
they
has
put
a
up
bad
49 on somebody this week. I mean, really.
You got Jacksonville versus Buffalo Sunday in London, 9:30
game.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Carolina at Detroit. Where's Detroit at here?
They're
That's
4-1.
That's your man,
They're,
Sam.
they're in the North
That's
division.
your man, head coach.
Campbell.
Oh yeah, I
You
like
love
him.
I
I
remember
love
you.
him.
Yeah.
You've been
I love
saying
the
that
guy.
for 2 years.
They play like him.
Yeah.
The way he coaches.
He's rough, boy.
Cowboys 49ers Sunday night. That's
Yeah,
the night
that
game.
should be a decent
That's, that,
But they don't know about Dallas. What do we know about Dallas?
Gotta get Dave knocked down here.
He's forming now because they won next weekend. I love you. I love you, buddy. If you're
That's
watching
it.
it, I love
Oh,
you.
he's watched. I'm
does,
sure.
he, does he like the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he likes
a little. I don't know. I think he likes just a little.
How about Duke? Does he like Duke?
Boom?
Boom.
Boom.
Hey, real fan.
Yeah.
He's dedicated.
Yeah.
He's a good Hurricanes fan.
Yes.
too.
Yes.
New Orleans at New England. New England's. Wow. I think. What's his name?
Now, I was going to bring this up
Go
too
ahead.
about Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady left, and it wasn't so easy to start
He was a
rolling
franchise.
again. And did they make a mistake with Matt Jones? It looks like it to me.
I mean, how have they been since Drew Brees retired? Not too good.
No,
Not too good.
not Drew Brees. You mean Brady?
I thought you were talking about New Orleans.
No. Patriots.
Patriots. Yeah.
Patriots. They just fell off.
Yeah, they fell off the face
I
of the earth.
mean, it's just
They didn't make the playoffs last year, did he?
no. Now,
Well, that's how valuable Tom Brady was.
Sam, I think it's
Amen.
his general manager hat that he's not as good as a coach. Excellent coach, I think. Maybe probably the best ever.
Yes.
Right, best ever. But general manager wise, he brings in some of these guys. He brought in Randy Moss. Brought in these guys. Other teams sort of cast off, and they play the Patriot way once they get there. But not having that quarterback again,
Right.
it's
Right.
a big deal. It's a big deal.
What do
Go ahead.
you think about? What are you hearing? I think I read somewhere where they're looking at Ben Roethlisberger
Yeah, that's
as the OC. Is there any truth to that, or is that just
Or the Patriots?
rumor? No, for
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I don't know about
Listen.
that. He's never been in a coordinator.
This is just
I mean-
my opinion again, but the Roonies are not going to get rid of people.
Right.
That's not their style.
Stop.
No.
Am I saying it right?
No, I think Tomlin will be there as long as he
As long
wants.
as he wants to do it.
Now, Canada, if they lay an egg this week and they got a bye week coming, I don't know who's going to make that call.
Who-
Maybe they do get rid of him.
Who would they go with within the organization? Because that's what they do. They're not going to go outside.
Not at this
especially
point, I
at
wouldn't
this
think
point,
so.
right?
Right.
So who would
Well,
they
they
go
could
with?
bring Ben in. I mean,
I
that would
mean-
be up. Of course, I'd be up to him, but
Would you think? I mean,
I
would
don't
you
know
do
why.
something like that?
We're right. They would
I don't
go
know.
within the organization,
Yeah,
correct?
I would imagine who's next in line is going
Right.
to probably get that job.
Wow.
Now, if he has a good week this week, he'll probably save his job, I would imagine. They play good. And I ain't saying they win. They might not have to win. They just got to play better.
But when you want to
there's no
talk about
consistency.
laying an egg, what was it? 3rd and 1 or?
The play calling, so it's
Come
horrendous.
on!
You're in shotgun
Come
on
on.
4th and 1.
And that's what got
they
your
were
quarterback-
blasting him in Pittsburgh.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know as much as you guys know about football. Not even half. But I know you can't do that. You can't do that.
That
You
was
can't get it 4th and 1 in shotgun.
he laid an egg.
Not against an
It
NFL
was a big
defensive
golden
line.
egg, dude.
Yeah,
it
you
was
can't.
huge.
Then he gets hurt. I mean,
That's
put the
scary.
icing on it.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
You only scored 6 points against the Texans.
what's their total points for the year? Where are they
They're
at?
62 and 100.
And how many have the Ravens scored?
Ravens.
Because they're not a high-powered offense either.
Ravens are 99 and 58.
Okay, so you can see. I mean,
Chargers 110, 104 against.
I was going to say the Chargers give up more points than
Yeah.
anybody. They can't stop anybody. Broncos are horrible on defense.
Miami 119 against them.
They go up and down the field like a track meet.
Against them 109.
I think-
San Francisco 125 and 58.
Brock Purdy. What did I write down here about Brock Purdy?
Kansas City's only 60. Baltimore's 58.
Brock Purdy leads the league in quarterback rating and quarterback rating and completion percentage. Brock Purdy, we're talking about. Because look at the team he's on. He has an excellent offensive line. He got a great running back. He has the wideouts. Ayuk is a one wide receiver now too, so they're rolling. That game's going to be good Sunday night. It's going to be a good one.
Buffalo's only 55.
Buffalo turned it on. They turned it on.
139. Miami 150.
They turned it on Buffalo last week. What? I don't know. Miami, they can't tackle. Jeez.
No, you can't tackle.
Woo.
What a but
You think of the pros, you could be able to make a tackle, right?
And Buffalo lost their.
Barry, just think about that. Kelsey coming at you. You got to tackle.
I mean, how often do they wrap anymore in the NFL? They don't wrap in the NFL. They just hit you. They just hit you.
Those guys will kill you. You see, you got to go for their legs somehow to knock their legs
I mean,
out.
even tackling Najee Harris, he's a big dude coming at you.
And guess what? He'll run through you. Najee Harris is rough.
He doesn't have any holes.
When he's running north and south, like you said, he'll put it right at
You
you.
got about that much of a crease
Yep.
to get through.
What's Gino say about that? When he sees one of these backs coming at him, where's
Well,
his
I'm
aiming point? What's
I think that where his position he's
Yeah,
playing at,
right.
you just got to get that pursuit angle.
right?
Yeah, he's
he's
going to be
Yeah,
interesting.
you don't want Gino making most of your tackles.
Right.
That's for sure. He shouldn't be. They have a tackling machine.
Wait,
and a
there's something
linebacker.
Right.
I guess the game before last, not last week. I don't know. He took he was in 101 snaps,
Wow.
and that's counting special
Played
teams.
special teams,
because he's a
too, yeah.
special team captain, so he's in most of special teams.
Oh, was that because they were so banged up that you're right, he wasn't supposed to.
I don't know if he wasn't supposed to, but he was in.
No, I don't think
But,
he was.
They just don't have the guys.
They don't have enough players.
They're starting to get a little healthy, and it's just like anything. We talked about this before. How healthy are you in baseball now? Look at how fast Tampa went out the door. That
Right.
fast, they're gone.
These short series,
Sayonara.
you
They're
got to
out.
be on your game.
Anything, it's
Beat
anything.
the Blue Jays last night. They wrapped that up.
They all wrapped them up.
Yeah, I love to watch. I've said this 100 times too. I love to watch the NFL because they lay it all out on the line. They let it go. They let you go. See who's the healthiest guy. And when a pot all comes together at the end, that's who's going to be your winner. Kansas City's going to be tough to beat, though. They're good.
Especially if they get home field advantage.
Yeah,
It's a
they're
big
good.
home field
They're good in
advantage.
every aspect of the game. There are. I like the 49ers. I like this
Right now.
McCaffrey. He's
I
the
like
running
him,
back.
too.
He's
I like
unbelievable.
him. I
running
like
back.
him.
He's just unreal.
I do like him. He's-
We're talking about this London deal here. You're going to see Jacksonville and Atlanta on Sunday.
9 a.m.
No, you're going to see
Yeah,
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville.
Buffalo, right? But Gino, Aaron was telling us yesterday. Coney was talking to her that they play Sunday in Pittsburgh. They'll fly back to Baltimore, and then they depart for London Monday morning.
wow.
That's
That's
the
six-
following week then.
They're
Yeah,
6
they'll
hours
play there a
ahead
whole
of us,
week.
right?
They're 6 hours.
That's what I thought.
10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. I think it'll be 2:30 or 3:30 there, whatever the time change is.
Okay.
But you see it all. You see the world, right? Now you can say you've seen the world. You're going to London.
That's beautiful.
Mexico, they're
Yeah,
going to
you
London.
can- well, you
they're
can-
expanding the league. I mean, that's dollars.
Yep, you got
And
the world by
are
the butt
packed.
right now.
Stadiums are packed.
Unbelievable.
They're soccer fields, right?
It's the
100,000. They're playing in fields of 100,000 people.
millions every Sunday, millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Can we get a cut of that?
Yeah.
They went that WFL, huh?
WFL.
Could you imagine that? WFL, World Football League.
Unreal.
Would that be something?
You know what? While we're talking, I see something that was very interesting today. I'm going to ask the 10 most exciting sporting events. This is something. Wimbledon. So it says, okay, so tennis may not be your favorite sport. Guess where the Super Bowl is? The Super Bowl goes
8th.
Five.
10.
What are they saying?
Okay.
Exciting?
The 10 most exciting sports events
Exciting to watch.
to watch.
And it's a 10.
Tennis.
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon
Back
tennis.
in the day, Pete Sampras and Audrey Agassi, those were some
Yeah.
intense tennis matches back in the day.
Jimmy Connors. Them guys are unbelievable.
All right, I got a question for you guys. What do you think the degree of difficulty sport ratings? That's all the sport.
Golf up there?
Degree of difficulty. No, golf's not even on there. Boxing. Degree of learning how to.
How about hockey? Where's hockey at?
Ice hockey's 2. Football's 3. Basketball's 4. Wrestling is 5. Martial arts, tennis, gymnastics, baseball / softball. I don't know. I'd have a little bit.
Golf's not in front of softball.
No, there's not even golf. Soccer,
Degree of
ski,
difficulty.
water
right?
polo, rugby, lacrosse, and rodeo.
And picking up a golf club and playing on the PGA.
I don't
Tour,
even
that
see
can't
it.
be too easy.
That's
Softball.
a degree of difficulty sports rating. I don't even see golf here.
And boxing.
Nothing gets you. Boxing's degree of difficulty. Boxing.
I guess, when you're squaring off them,
I
you see a counter punch coming at you. I mean, there's a lot of strategy, and it's quick. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, was it Mike Tyson said, when at one point in time, I forget who said it, with his opponent, when he would hit with a jab and a cross, it would be sound like one punch. That's how fast he was. It'd be, and there was one punch.
I got another.
It's amazing.
Amazing. I got another question. I'll make you. The most exhausting sports in the world. Number one.
Track.
Yeah.
Running.
Yeah.
I mean,
Most exhausting.
I would say running could be one, depending on what kind of rate running
Well,
you're doing.
it's in there, but it's not number one. Basketball.
Basketball.
Basketball, the most exhausting.
You think soccer too? I mean, that's a big pitch, right? They play on the pitch.
Well, lacrosse.
Boxing.
Non-stop running.
Boxing. Yep. Australian rules football. Not even American football. Australian. Ice hockey, cross country skiing, marathon, road cycling, and Ironman triathlon. And there's more, but basketball is your most exhausting sport because
It's up and down.
Up and down.
Up and down.
I think hockey is your most strenuous because what those guys out under a minute and a half.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're off the ice.
Skating, banging, hitting each other,
Oh,
knocking the
wow.
crap out of each other. Then you got to shoot. Then you got to make a nice pass, and you got to.
You have to have skill.
Wow.
God bless them.
I thought that was interesting.
Did you ever see a hockey player like person to person? Did you ever talk to one?
I never did.
I had the pleasure of meeting Claude Lemieux one time, and he used to date a girl that lived in this area. Anyhow, I met him at Alexander's. Okay, he had shorts on. His thighs
That's what they say.
looked like redwood trees. I got whoa,
Amazing.
oh man,
Amazing.
and he was the nicest guy in the world. But when you got him on the ice, he would light you up.
They
I
said the
Claude Lemieux
training
was
is
unbelievable.
unreal. That's all. Well, we have anything else, guys? Anything else you guys want to talk
Well,
about?
we just talked about baseball real quick. Rangers and Orioles. Orioles have 101 wins. Twins and Astros in the American and the National. Philadelphia and the Braves.
We're ready. That's all I gotta say.
I don't think that if they had to pick a team that they would want to play Philadelphia, right?
That's all right, Chip.
Right?
We ain't scared about that. We ain't
He's in his
scared.
glory, right?
104 wins.
Listen, I'm rooting for Atlanta.
Let's
Yeah,
really
I am
fun.
too.
let's listen to the stat line for the Braves. 307 home runs this year. On base percentage 344 and slugging percentage 501.
307 home runs.
307.
Oh my!
That's amazing.
162 games.
And congratulations to the Pirates on their 76 wins.
I said 74.
He guessed 74 in April.
But wait a minute. I went way out on the limb, and they had a bad May.
They had a bad man.
They could have been.
You got within two games. That's pretty good.
How many games did they win if O'Neill Cruz don't get hurt?
Right. That was big. But they were. Ziggy said it. Ziggy couldn't make it. Randy couldn't make it. And Bobby Frank's away. But Ziggy said it. If they play, they can keep it at 10 games over 500. That's a good season. Not a great season, but it's a good season.
Did you
May they shit the bed.
Yeah. Did you happen to listen to Mark and them guys? Frank Augustine, Larry
Oh, they're
Kelly,
baseball guys. Yeah.
Carmen, and Dennis Lisco, the other Dennis Lisco. Excellent baseball guys.
Yeah.
They know their Pirates.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, they really know their stuff. Congratulations, guys. That was a great
I'm
show.
going to tell you, that was a
That was
good
a
show.
great show.
But you know what? Ziggy knows.
Yeah, he knows baseball, too.
Ziggy knows baseball. I was
And hockey. Hockey.
I was wishing Ziggy would be here tonight that he can do our wrap up of the next
get him
week.
next week.
God willing, next week we'll get him here next week.
Yep.
But you know what, guys? I want to. There was an article in the newspaper this week on Dennis Olisco. Dennis is having some tough times, and I know he wanted to be there last Friday night, and he just couldn't make it. But I talked to his brother-in-law Angelo Prada today, and told him to tell the family that our prayers are out to him, and we always try to
Absolutely.
do that every time we have.
Dennis
our
is a
show
good
here.
dude.
Dennis been through a rough road,
Yes.
and he's beating it as much as he can right now. So we're hoping with prayers that we can get them through this. So,
Dennis,
prayers
take
are
care.
out to
Get out there,
you.
Dennis.
Is there anything else, guys?
So the question on Facebook is they want to know who do you think they can beat the remainder of the year?
Blackhawk. I think they can beat Blackhawk. I think they can win
Sean
Friday.
Ambridge, too.
And I think they can beat Ambridge.
Fans, we got to be positive. If you're a Newcastle Red Hurricanes fan, you got to be positive.
absolutely.
You can't be negative because negativity doesn't.
No, I mean, we went
doesn't
through.
win games.
We got to play Alaquipia. The
Yeah.
teams we all played they're all going to make the playoffs.
There's a
they're all
place
good.
we can't say can. We can say could.
But I think they're realistically, if they play their game, they could win three. Those three,
Yes.
two of them will be on the road, right?
Terry and I were talking about it earlier. It's a big boost for a program.
Yeah.
Get back in that, man. You got to get.
They can right the ship.
Young kids, if you're watching that out there, there's no doubt in any of our minds that you have to be in the weight room. That's not only Newcastle kids, that's everyone. That sport will eat you, put you to your knees. If you're not physically stronger than the guy in front of you, you're not winning the battle.
You
You're
can't.
going to lose the battle.
You can't show up
Right.
in June.
You can't.
You got to start. You got to start, and it's got to be all year round. It has to be done. That's the only way.
And no excuses.
There's
right?
no excuses.
No excuses. I don't want to
Sure.
hear about that you got to go play this sport. I don't want to hear about that you got to go to the YMCA and lift up. No, you lift as a team. Find the time that you can be there with your team and lift with your team.
You have that rack up there.
You have
That rack up there is. How many coaches have said it? We wish we had
We wish
facility.
it back in the day.
You have to utilize it. If you don't use it,
But
it's senseless. It's your own fault.
Right.
I mean, because and then the most unifying thing. Now, I've been there coming up. Is when you lift together like that. When you lift together, you work out together. You start building that team and that gel, and that's all cohesiveness, and that carries over onto the field.
Right.
It does, right, Sammy?
Oh,
right.
100%.
There was nothing like it.
And
was
you
nothing
can't,
like
you
it.
can't go through a football game and get beat up. You're gonna get. Listen.
They're beat up anyway.
Listen,
Right.
you're in a street fight. You're throwing punches at each other. Right. Whoever can come out on top, he's the guy that's going to throw the last punch. And in football, it's the same thing. In all sports, it's the same. Right. You got to play from the beginning of the game till the very end. I remember, and I'm going to quote Lindy Laurel again. Lindy used to tell us, and I'm sure he told you guys because I remember him out of camp.
Yep.
You should be so exhausted after the football game that you can't even sit on a bench to change your clothes.
How many times?
And that's true. I know I went through it and you went through it.
Listen,
You couldn't walk out of the locker room.
if he made that point so many times, because, like you said, you got 48 minutes, okay? You got 48 minutes. You got to let it all out.
You can't play for 40. You can't take a play off.
You can't.
No. You're going to make mistakes in that playoff, but you're still
Of
playing,
course.
right?
Of course you're going to
Right.
make mistakes
Right.
because you're not. No one's perfect. However, that's where when you show up to practice, if you run a pattern, you don't run it half speed. You run it full speed. If you know the play is going away from you and you take it off, that's shame on you. You have to make it happen. If you're not involved in the play, you got to be 100%.
Yes.
Because if you're not, you can't sell anything.
What was it always?
Can't do it.
Run to the ball.
Listen,
Always.
we had drills, Sam. How many times?
Oh.
We had to get on the ball. If we didn't get there,
Yeah.
guess what? You were running.
You're right.
And if you didn't buy into it, you weren't playing. You weren't playing. Sit down.
You got to be in the weight room. You got to be in the weight room.
You gotta
so
be on-
that'll
be on time.
And you got to be on time. And you
Amen.
got to be mentally tough.
And you have to
Gotta
be.
be
What you just said right there, you stole one of Larry Kelly's lines because I watched his show. The commitment, mental toughness were
Yes.
two of the things he brought up.
Yes.
Commitment. Now, Barry, our guys are hitting out there. I'm on the field. I'm right there. I hear.
Yeah, sure.
They're getting hit and they're hitting.
Sure.
So it's physical anyway, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's physical anyway.
But you got to be
Mental
stronger
toughness.
than the other guy.
Yeah.
You're
because
not-
he's going to be saying the same thing. If I can beat that guy in front of me, that's who's going to win the battle.
The most rewarding thing that I found out when I played, which was years ago, when your opponent come up to you after the game and he looked at you and he said, you can hit.
Yep.
And you guys hustled.
And you played a good
And
game.
thank you very much for playing hard.
And your team played
And
it.
good luck.
Right.
There's nothing better than that.
Your most successful teams today in every level, when you play together
Right.
as a team, you're going to be successful and be a winner. Let's just compete. Competing is the biggest part of it. You're going to lose competing. Everybody loses. You're not going to win them all. But you can say when you go to the film room 2 days later that I went out as a team. Our team competed.
That's
when
right.
you compete.
Right. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. That's right.
Well, listen, I thought this was a good show tonight.
Yes, it
A lot of
was.
good conversation.
A lot of good
Thanks,
conversation.
Ronnie. It was a very nice set.
It's easy when we're around a bunch of good people. We're glad to be down here, Ronnie. We're gonna do, I think, Chip, we better stick to Tuesdays.
Tuesdays is good, but we're flexible.
Yeah, 6 or 6:30.
Until football's over,
Yeah.
and then
Football's over, we're gonna go back to Wednesdays.
Go to Wednesday.
Because that's an off day without the girls playing basketball and the boys playing,
It's a
girls
day
playing
between.
Thursday, boys playing Friday. We'll get back to our Wednesday show and back to Munge. You know Munge?
Munge,
We'll be eating again.
we like to eat, right?
Yeah, and they, listen, all those sponsors that he has on there and all the people that have donated food to this group of people that love to eat, we thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Joey, Camerot up at Scoosties, thanks Joey, does a lot for us on Friday nights.
Throw a
Now
shout
again,
out.
what's that?
Throw a shout out for Turco's Pizza.
Coco's Pizza?
Turco's.
Turco
Saturday
first.
they're doing
Where the hell's
that.
Coco's?
That's young stuff.
Yeah,
That's
We'll
going to
get
be
that
what,
next week.
October
Turco's,
This Saturday.
7th, right?
yeah.
It's down to Town Mall for
Baby
Turco's.
For Baby Luca.
Baby
Luke,
Luke.
It'll be down to Town Mall.
Throughout the afternoon.
God bless that little baby.
Nick's a good
Amen.
guy.
I had his picture on Facebook. God, he looks, God bless him. He looks
And
good.
Perry and I
More
know
prayers.
his mother and the
Yes.
family, and
Yep.
Yes.
they're all good people, and hopefully
Amen.
the town will turn out, and
Our prayers
hopefully
for-
he'll do better. I mean, that's
Yep.
something good they're doing, and some of these local pizza shops
Pizza
here
Man,
are organizing
Pizza
it.
Man Pizza tomorrow and Saturday,
Yep.
donating a percentage of each sale.
Right. That's Newcastle at its best right there.
Yes, it is. That's good.
It's at its
Good,
best,
Chip.
and that's why we're here.
Yep, amen.
Well, listen, we're going to be back here again. Ronnie will have it on the media page, and we'll be ready to go. Thank you, everyone that came tonight. Thank our people out there that are viewing us. We're still getting, like Chip said at the beginning, if we got 100 views, we were happy, and we're doing okay with it. We're doing this just to have some fun.
Good
and just for-
conversation.
Good conversation.
Good
Show's number 23 today.
Number
It's almost
23.
a year. It'll be almost a year.
It'll be a
Maybe this
year,
month, I
next
think it
month.
is.
Yep,
Yeah.
1 year. An idea that we threw around, just be with
We're gonna
friends.
just get some guests in now. These
We're
guys,
gonna- yeah,
these
you
gotta
guys
start
are
coming
out there
around.
that are, even,
Microphone.
yeah, Michael told me yesterday
Microphone, we're
that
gonna
at the end of this
microphone.
month, like I said, I'm gonna talk to Bear this weekend, try to get Bear here next week, and we'll wrap the show around Bear. You know?
Or what we're talking about, what Chip just said, and Sammy, we're gonna start going into the 80s. So, we're gonna transition the glorious tradition years into the 80s. We had some, good runs. We had some, championship
Excellent
losses.
athletes. Guys went to the next level.
And
did well.
and so we would like to get some people in here, and I'm gonna work on it. So guys, I'm coming for you. I'll be knocking on
You're
your
in
door.
charge of that.
Thank you, Sam. You're my man.
All right, you're in
Yeah,
charge.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for coming by. Keep working
See you
out there.
guys.
At MP Coney Island, it's all about the chili and has been for nearly 100 years since we opened in 1923. We helped put Newcastle on the map as the hot dog capital of the world. Visit our store, place an order for pickup at mpconeyisland.com, delivery with DoorDash, or find the grocery store near you with our chili locator on our website. Want to own your own MP Coney Island? Now you can with our franchise system. At MP Coney Island, it's all about the chili.